Hello, everyone. This is Fernando with Texas United Realty, United Real Estate. Thank you for joining our webinar. Today we have a guest speaker named Kristy Rogers. He's from CMG Home Loans. So we're going to be asking her to speak in a couple minutes. So for right now, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. If some of you guys are still not receiving any emails from the brokerage office, there is helpful tips. This is we call this a whitelist, where you have to define these extensions in your email to allow our email system to communicate with you. If you have any questions regarding this, you can always chat with me, and then I'll work with you on that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pass the baton to Kristy Rogers. And Kristy, go ahead and proceed.
All right, Fernando, thanks for inviting me to be on the call, and hello to everybody. I appreciate the opportunity to share the information that I'm going to be able to chat with you about this evening. To start, a little bit about CMG Home Loans. We are a nationwide lender. We've been in business for over 30 years. We're family owned and operated, and we are often told that we think differently, which of course today in this market is a really good thing. My mantra for this year has been, it's time to get creative because of course everybody knows that this year has been definitely a challenge. There's been, everything from the market to the interest rates, all the above. And so we have many programs in-house that we service, and we also have out-of-the-box loans, non-QM loans, which is your bank statement loans, your investor loans, etc., tax ID loans. So the first one thing I want to share with you, I'm so excited about this. When this came out last week, I honestly could not sleep. I'm not even kidding you. So for all buyers that close with CMG from November 1st through March 31st are going to qualify for what's called the rate rebound. And what that means is if the rates drop, or I should say when the rates drop, more than 0.5% over the next 5 years, they can choose when they want to refinance over the next 5 years. CMG is going to waive our lender fees, the appraisal fee, and we're going to give $1,000 to help with the title company fees and third-party fees. So basically, it's essentially a free refinance. And the reason I get so excited about this is because most of you probably will agree that the number one challenge, especially in the last 3 to 5 months, people have been saying, I'm going to wait and see what happens. I'm going to wait and see if the rates get better. I'm going to see how the market does. And this program essentially removes all risk, because when they purchase and close, even if the rates are higher now, when they're ready, they're going to be able to refinance and essentially not have to pay any fees. If we service the loan, we also can transfer their escrow with, it's called nothing but net. And basically we transfer their escrow balance from their old loan to their new loan. The number one complaint that we get, and as a lender, I've been doing this a long time, since 2006, but the number one complaint we get with refinances is, I've only had this loan for a few years. I don't want to have to put $5,000 to $7,000 back into my loan just to get a lower interest rate. This is going to eliminate that. And so this is a program that you can go to your buyers and say, hey, I know you said you want to wait and see what happens, but with this program, you don't have to wait and see what happens. You can buy now and then refinance anytime within the next 5 years when the rates drop to what you want, what you want to refinance at. So the screen went blank for a second. So the screen that's up there on the left-hand side, if you see where it says don't wait, we'll waive all lender fees. This is actually a co-branded flyer that I can send you with your information and my information. And you can, give this to your buyer. And it's basically like I call it a coupon because it basically says, you know, the details of the program. And it's a cute little way to, you know, kind of put a stamp on, hey, this is what we're going to do. So Fernando, if you can go to the next screen. So there are other companies out there, and I'm just briefly going to go over this. I don't know who they are, but this came from our corporate office. Just so you can see the difference between our program and other lenders. The other lenders that are offering rate drop programs, most of them have an end date of December 31st. Ours is through March 31st. So essentially it's going to get you through, you know, the winter months, the slower months. The refinance period is 3 years. Ours is 5. Fees waived. All of our lender fees are waived. The appraisal waived. Processing fee waived. Administration waived. Flood and tax cert waived. You know, credit report, origination fee, all of those things are going to be waived. Can you go to the next screen? So how to market this awesome program? Of course, shout it from the rooftop. That's what I've been doing. I've been texting, calling, emailing everybody I possibly can. You probably, you know, several of you probably gotten an email from me or a text or, you know, some kind of communication. You can print this. You can get this co-branded and print this out and give this to every potential client that wants to purchase between now and March. You can email it to your database. You can share it in your open houses. You can put the flyer in your listings, post it on social media, tell your family, friends, coworkers, because this could be the program that gets your buyers off the fence and get them excited and not wanting to wait anymore. So are there any questions about this program? No questions? Okay, so
Not
I
so
will
much about the program itself. This is Dean Fisk.
Yes.
But can you email this presentation, or can you email this, or can we just get with you to brand, or how do we do that?
Yeah, so you can email me and I'll give it to you again. Well, yeah, Fernando's going to jump to it. So my email is krogers@cmgfi.com. Yes, it's spelled like Kroger's. It's been a long run. Laugh because it's true. So yeah, if you email me your information, then I can put it on the flyer. And I can send you both of the flyers. I can send you the coupon, and I can also send you the one where it shows the breakdown, you know, of waiving all the fees. Now, I will tell you guys this. The one thing to note is for down payment assistance programs, this does not apply because down payment assistance has different rules, and we have no control, you know, over rates and things like that. And there's generally a time period of waiting, you know, to be able to sell or refinance. But this is conventional FHA, VA, USDA, just standard, you know, and jumbo, standard loan programs.
Oh, this is pretty good. So VA and FHA as well,
huh? Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Any other questions? If not, we'll go to the next slide. I'm telling you, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't believe it. It came out of left field. We didn't even know that they were doing this. And I mean, it was just like, it got me pumped because I've talked to so many people over the past few months that are all saying, I just want to wait and see what happens. You know, the rates are going up and, you know, I just want to wait maybe till next year. Well, this removes, you know, all of that. So, okay. So Fernando wanted me to touch on, how much a seller can pay towards closing costs. And this is another flyer that I can send out to you guys. If you want to, like, you know, with people that are, you know, like you're marketing their listing, you know, it's kind of one of those things that it's not necessarily a seller's market anymore, at least in what I'm seeing come across my table. So the seller concessions could be definitely making a comeback. So it's good to know, like, different loan programs, what you can, you know, what the sellers can contribute. So with the conventional, it depends on how much they're putting down. So if they're putting down less than 10%, it's 3%, maximum seller concessions. If they're putting down 10 to 25%, it's 6%. And if they're putting down more than 25%, it's 9%. On primary and second homes. On a conventional loan that's an investment, the maximum is 2%. On FHA, it's 6%, and on VA, it's 4%. And so this is kind of a little cheat sheet that, because it's easy to not know exactly how many, and then when you're with a seller and they're, you're trying to see what you can, what they can do. This is just a good little sheet to have to be able to know, what the seller can contribute.
Yeah, because this.
We definitely want this.
Yeah, because we're in a buyer's market now, and we're having a lot of sellers call us going, hey, why? So did we lose that window of opportunity? And we're like, yeah. So now we're having open houses, and I get a lot of calls from agents going, how do I push this house? And this is a very, 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 very good slide that we can use for co-branding and yeah.
Absolutely. And the next slide that I'm going to show you too is also could possibly help your listings as well. So temporary buydowns are making a comeback. They've been around. It's just that the rates have been low enough that nobody's been interested in them. So what a temporary buydown is the buyer can lower their interest rate for the first few years of the loan. The buyer, the seller, the lender can all pay for the cost. Now there are different ones that it depends on the program. Like for instance, VA, the lender nor the buyer can pay for the buy down. So the seller and the realtor is the only one that can pay for it. But just to give you an example, if the market rate is 7.5, then the first year their rate would be 5.5. The second year the rate would be 6.5, and then the third year the rate is back to 7.5. But they can refinance at any time. And the cost of the buy down, which is essentially a discount point, but it's a temporary discount point as opposed to a permanent discount point. But if they refinance and there's any of those funds, that are unused from the buy down, it goes towards principal. So it's not wasted. The thing about the buy downs is with your listings, offering to pay seller concessions to help pay for buy down costs. So instead of lowering the price tens of thousands of dollars, what if the seller said, hey, I'm going to give $7,000 or whatever, to help pay for closing and or buying down the interest rate. The cool thing about this program is they can also do the rate rebound. So somebody, if they wanted to have a lower interest rate temporarily, and there's 3-2-1 buy down, which is 3 years. There's a 2-1 buy down, which is what's on the screen. And there's also a 1-year buy down. So instead of the rate being 7.5, the rate would be 6.5. So there's different options. But just the fact that the listing, the seller would be willing to help pay for that could be very attractive to a buyer.
And
any questions?
well, my question is because I've heard of buying down points like 0.25%. It was $500 or $1,000. Is that similar to this? Where you're
just a really rough estimate, like a 2-1 buy down would cost probably around 2 and not 2.5 points, but a little under 2.5 points. Okay. It's temporary. So it's only going to be for the first few years, but it's buying down the interest rate 2 points the first year, 1 year the second year. So it's, instead of it being a discount point that's permanent, that buys it down for the whole term, it's not going to cost as much to be able to buy it down temporarily.
Oh, I see. I see. And then the
So,
seller or the realtor can supply, like a, like, I usually call it a buyer rebate or something like that.
mhm,
They-
yep,
okay, so it comes out of our commission, or it comes out of
right.
seller's closing costs.
Yes. Yes. And so I have a flyer that talks about the buy down, that can be co-branded, that if you were to do a listing. So what if you said, okay, this listing is sitting on the market, it's not selling, instead of lowering it $15,000 or whatever, offer $5,000 to buy down the interest rate and or pay for closing costs, because, we know, like you just said, it's more of a buyer's market now where we're starting to see sellers having to pay for things again. And this could be a great way to promote, helping a buyer be able to enjoy a lower interest rate for a period of time.
Yeah. Yeah, because Brandon was asking, how would I pitch this to my buyers? And,
Which, the buy down or the rate rebound?
the rate, I guess which one is it again? The rate
Well,
rebound,
yeah. So, I mean, the way I would pitch it is just say, look, the rates are up. The rates have been going up all year long. It is predicted that the rates are going to go down next year. But with this program, you have up to 5 years to refinance. So if you want to be like, how low can we go? So like, for instance, if next year, if the rates drop back down to the 5s, but you purchase between now and March 31st, you can wait up to 5 years. If you want to ride it out and see how long, how low the interest rates are going to go, you don't have to refinance when it just drops below 0.5%. That's just the threshold and it has to be beneficial, of course, to the buyer, but it removes all the risk of being stuck with a higher interest rate.
now
And that's basically
both the rate rebound and the temporary buy downs, you can refinance afterwards, right? Either program?
Yes. So if they wanted to do the 2-1 buy down, or if they wanted to do the 1-1 buy down, the 3-2-1 buy down it's very costly. But again, if you're dealing with like a builder, builders are reducing prices on their inventory. But if instead of reducing the price thousands upon thousands of dollars, what if they said, hey, we'll just we'll just offer a temporary buy down, to be able to help the buyer get a lower payment for a few years of the loan, and then they can refinance.
Any other questions for Kristy? I know I ask a lot of questions too.
Hey, that's what keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
Keeps me on my toes.
If anybody has any. If you do want to ask a question, make sure you unmute your devices.
Yeah, any questions? And if not, if you can go to the last thing. So if no questions, I just want you guys to remember, I'm here to help. We do pre-quals, we do pre-approvals. We do 21-day closings, and that's normal for us. That's not anything special on FHA, VA, USDA, conventional. I can help you with marketing flyers. I can help you with open house flyers. Any kind of marketing, if you have a certain niche you would like to market to, we have access to over 500 flyers. So we probably have some kind of marketing piece that you would, that you could benefit from, that, is co-branded. And our open house flyers also comes with a website. So it's a great way to market on social media. It's a great way to, get the word out about your listing or your open house. Anytime you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out.
There's a question from Brandon. He says, what are the signs that interest rates will drop while we're dealing with uncertainty?
So Freddie Mac came out with an article, and I don't know, it wasn't too long ago, that said something to the effect of that they anticipate the rates to be back in the high fives by the third quarter of 23. And it's not necessarily a guarantee, but it's definitely a positive, when the feds have been steadily raising the rates. So nobody knows for sure what the rates are going to do, but it's one of those things that when Freddie Mac kind of puts something out like that, it's like, hey, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. How much notice do you need if we want to do a co-branding for an open house flyer?
You know what? It really, as long as I have at least a 24-hour notice,
Okay. Right.
I'm good. I mean, I have people that reach out to me on Friday and say, oh, I have an open house for Saturday.
Right.
It's, I can make it happen.
Okay, good.
How do we get the flyers?
The open house flyers or just the
Yes,
flyers?
ma'am. No, the open house flyers.
All I need is for you to email me the MLS number, and also, if I don't have it already, your information, so I can create a profile for you that I can, if you want to use your photo, how you want your name, your
No,
information.
I
on
meant once you make the flyers up, how do we get them physically?
Oh, I email them to you.
Okay, so we're still doing the printing.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
I can email the PDF and the JPEG so you can share them on social media as well as print them. And then you can do with them whatever you like.
Yeah, and Dina, we have 2 printers in our office, like one in Grand and one in Briar Park that prints in color.
Oh, there you go.
And you can access it 24/7. You can go to the office at any time. Well, in Grant, you can go at any time, not Briar Park. But the one in the Grant office, you can go there Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whatever day, and just print the email PDF file that Kristy sent you, and then you can make your own flyers there. That way you don't have to use your own toner and ink.
Thank you.
Sure. Good question. Any other questions, guys?
Thanks so much, Kristy. Thank you, Fernando.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank
You're
y'all.
welcome.
Have a happy
I hope-
Thanksgiving.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, thank you. Likewise. And I'll put this recording posted on our webinar links. Thank you, Kristy, for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me to be on.
We'll put you on other webinars in the future.
Yeah, I'm ready when you guys are.